Good evening, and thank you very much. We start with the slides. Perfect. As an architect, I strongly believe in the power of physical space. Of course, in an environment of the city, we are talking about the public space. Public space can influence how we feel. And how we feel influence how we treat each other. And treating each other well is one of the key elements of the discussion about the good city. I understand public space not only as a space where, for example, governance of the city meet with own citizen, or the element in which citizens becoming the owners of the city, but also on symbolical level of our democracy. In these demanding times, it's pretty sure with all hatred and lies and populism coming from virtual social networks, it's important to think about the old school public space as an old school place of democracy. This is a space where you can experience with other people in physical space the happiness, the fear, losses and victories, and it's very important to have a good quality public space in the cities. For this reason, I spend a lot of energy, time, also money in our city of Bratislava, which is, thank you very much, only 40 minutes drive from here, to change the physical image, the physical base of the city. I will show you a few images because it's much easier to talk about physical space and showing the images. Sorry. So, this is the first image, sorry. The bench, it looks pretty simple, but the bench is the key element where you are touching the public space. You're sitting on it, is very important. And this bench has a good story behind it. It's a gift from Prague. The city of Prague made a competition for a beautiful bench, and they just donated us to Bratislava, the design. So now we are only 2 cities in the world using this beautiful, beautiful bench, which merge old and new. And I can tell you it's a big success in Bratislava because everybody loves to sit in it and people are loving it. The second element, very important, is a pavement. This is a Bratislava pavement design. We're using our own design for putting new pavement in our streets. So when somebody is on the pavement, he understands he is in his or her street of City of Bratislava. So the key element of the streets, and I'm going to show you some before and after images, is just bring all these elements together and create like normal space for a capital city in the European Union in 21st century. The Freedom Square, this is a formerly communist designed square which was completely neglected and left empty, with the fountain which was completely empty and unused for last 16 years. We were lucky enough to have a good architect which create this new public children water future, and the square became once again, after full reconstruction, a place for gathering, communities, meeting, and people to just sit down. Another square in front of Presidential Palace, once again, the small change, but very important. People never use this square for sitting or waiting or meeting somebody. Now, in the reality, is full of people. The public space or reconstruction of any promises as a tool for communities, very important element. This is a new communal spot in Bratislava, Forest, the former housekeeper house. It's becoming a community space for preparing food, and it's very popular. It's looking like this, and it's important to show and to see how people like just to have a quality space where they use as a background for their activities and meeting. The same new park, new garden in the middle of Bratislava, Pruger Valno Garden, with a new community space. Garden keeper house, which is now the community center, and we have different groups of how we're dealing with public space. This is from category unused spaces is often that in the cities you're just using the spaces under the bridge for some sporting activities. When I became mayor in 2018, I asked former new colleagues, what is behind that 2 meters fence? What is behind there? And they told me there's important stuff, we cannot touch it. They need this space for I don't know what. I just climbed it and I understand it was completely empty. There was nothing behind it. It was like in this utopistic movie. And so now we have an outdoor fitness there and we're opening in a few months the skate park. But we can continue. Bratislava has a 17 district. It's always very important to go to the former communist district to make changes. And one of the super elements of putting people and communities together is to create multifunctional park. When you have a good bench, which we have, when you have cherry trees and good trees, elderly people are coming. When you have a skate park, teenagers are coming. When you have a good playground, families with small kids are coming. And that's something with the help of physical instruments, creating community. And of course, there is a category, one of the very important ones, the space for everybody. So who is winning, the pedestrians, cyclists, or cars? This debate is not debate which stays only in local governments and communal and the city's discussion. It also became a big national discussion, and many populist parties are using it their election and trying to save back the space for cars and try push back on alternatives way of moving around the city. This is the street where we know that we have space for everybody. We just move the cars, we bring benches and trees to the city, and we know it's working. We know it from our citizens. The same element with the new trees, less cars, people are just using the street more. And this is a street where you can have it all, which is not happening in an environment of the city many times. When you're just moving the cars, you create the same number of parking spaces. You have still the one lines for cars, but you create a good quality protected bike lanes. Bike lanes are very important topic in every cities. In Bratislava, even more. Between our old town and River Danube, we used to have 4 lanes road. I think no city should have 4 lanes road in the middle of its old town. So we create this bike lane, which became, of course, the topic and element of many discussion and debates. But we were able to do it only because 900 meters from that, we have 8 lines road, which can be used by anybody who needs to go in crossing the old town. Symbolism of public spaces is very important. This is a memorial to the victim of extremism, which was in the middle of asphalt and concrete parking, illegal parking place. After the competition, we just push cars out of this river bank actually, and our memorial is in the middle of a new park. You can have a good public space, but you can have also other things. You can have more trees or more greenery, or you can have a space where you collect rainwater. This is one of the examples. The former parking space is now a green park, small pocket park, which is very important, not only local community around, but also to having more trees and more greenery in the middle of Old Town. This is a program called Traffic Island. In Bratislava, we have these huge traffic islands which covers 1,000 square meters. It's just the concrete traffic island. We are changing it to the green islands. Once again, you have a good, aesthetically good quality space, public space, and also you retain the water, and you have just green element in it. The last image is also very important because you can have a good quality public space, and you can have, for example, the shadow. Today, shadows in our city is becoming a very precious element, and every year we have more and more sun. We have people who needs to stay in shadow and waiting for the public transport, and you just can bring the new trees and have a shadows in a very few moments, and you can have a good quality public space. So these were a few images, just concluding. The public space can be a human right, of course, the high quality public space, but is important for our communities, is important for understanding that our citizens are owners of the city, is important for democracy as well, to have a physical space where to meet, to protest, or just to be happy is also very important. And we will continue to working on it because we see it really pays off. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Mayor Matúš Vallo. And whilst I love my own city, Vienna, here, I'm a little bit, as a biking Dutchman, a little bit jealous of the bike lines you have put in Bratislava. Good. It's time now for a panel debate, so I'm very happy to hand over the floor to my very dear colleague, Damla.